The salience network, the dopamine system, the prefrontal cortex, all of them are running. They do not care what they are aimed at. In yesterday's episode, we established that the machinery of obsession is neutral. It will attach to whatever patterns you reinforce. The exercise of directing it deliberately is the practice ground, the rehearsal space. Today, we answer the question that part 1 left open. What is the healthiest target for this machinery? The healthiest target is not a goal, not a number, not an outcome. It's the quality of your own choices, the alignment between your actions and your highest values, the embodiment of your preferred self, not as a distant aspiration, but as the criterion for each moment of enacted choice. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercising Consistency from Fitness to Flourishing. Outcomes are indifferent. The default target for obsession is an outcome, a weight on the scale, a deadline met, a number achieved. But outcomes are not in your control. They depend on variables that no amount of focus, pursuit, or strategic approach can guarantee. The person who obsesses over an outcome has aimed the machinery at something that can fail despite perfect execution. The salience network begins flagging every fluctuation as significant. The dopamine system anticipates a reward that is never guaranteed. The prefrontal cortex plans around contingencies it cannot control. The machinery runs at full capacity and produces only strain. The target is the problem, not the machinery. Perception is not yours. Another common target is how others perceive you, your reputation, your image, your status. These are also not within your control. The person who obsesses over their reputation does not become more respected. They become dependent. They calibrate their choices to an audience that does not have their interests in mind. The machinery that could drive excellence instead drives performance for an external judge. The dopamine system anticipating admiration depends on a reward others control. The prefrontal cortex strategizing around your image builds on sand. The difference is not visible in the behavior. It's visible in the trajectory. The healthiest obsession. There is a German term for what happens when you aim this machinery correctly. Lebenskünstler. It means a master of the art of living. A person who approaches life with the same care, intention, and inspiration that an artist brings to a canvas. Their life is the work. Their brush technique is virtuous self-control. Each choice is a deliberate stroke upon the world. The healthiest obsession is making choices consistent with your highest values and most important goals. Focus all your effort on embodying your conception of your preferred self. The preferred self is not a distant aspiration. It's the canvas you are painting in real time. When you aim the machinery at values-aligned action, the systems behave differently. The salience network begins highlighting cues that matter for your identity, the situations where alignment or drift is possible. The dopamine system reinforces the intrinsic reward of coherence, the settled state that follows a choice consistent with your values. The prefrontal cortex organizes behavior around maintaining that coherence, using planning and inhibition to help you return when you drift. None of these systems, in quotes, ask moral questions, but through repetition, they learn what you treat as important. They learn your standard. This target is fully within your control. The quality of your choice in this moment is up to you. There is no external variable that can keep you from focusing on this target. The outcome may not arrive. The perception of others may not shift, but the choice itself is yours. The machinery can run at full capacity on this target without producing burnout, because the reward is not external. It's the experience of creating a life worth living. What it looks like in practice. The person with a healthy obsession does not wake up consumed by anxiety about results. They wake up with a clear target. Today, I make choices consistent with my highest values. They do not measure progress by external validation. They measure it by the gap between their intention and their enactment. The streak matters because it's a visible record of aligned choices. The floor matters because it's the minimum standard that preserves the practice. The return after a lapse matters because it's the moment the preferred self is reaffirmed. The Lebenskünstler performs even the smallest routine task with presence. The morning workout is not a chore to rush through. It's a miniature painted with precision, a deliberate stroke of virtuous self-control on the canvas of the day. The obsession is not with the outcome. It's with the quality of the execution. The takeaway. The machinery of obsession is already running. What makes it healthy or unhealthy is your aim. Aim it at outcomes and you get anxiety. Aim it at perception and you get dependency. Aim it at the quality of your choices, at the alignment between your actions and your highest values, at the embodiment of your preferred self as a living work of art, and you get something different. You get integrity, a settled sense that the choice you just made was the right one, regardless of what comes next. You do not just live. You transform the messy, unpredictable circumstances of life into a beautiful, personalized masterpiece, making not only your own life better, but doing the same for the world at large. That is the healthiest obsession of all. To put this practice in place and turn it from an idea into a lived experience, start your day one inside the ACT Score Challenge. Go to exercisingconsistency.com. That's it for today. Catch you next time.